morning, everyone. Welcome to Global Truth Center Toronto. And wherever you are in the world, thank you for tuning in this morning, or if you're watching in the archives. I'm Reverend Helen Velo, and happy to be with you here this morning. Our theme for the month of June, it is June. Can you believe it's June? Our theme for the month of June is the power of your decision. Your decision, not somebody else's decision for you, but your decision for you. And our vision statement is love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And knowing that we come together each week to be reminded that there is a creative, indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause back of all life. Recognizing this is who we are. The infinite self-knowingness of creative energy. Within every human being is the capacity to bring forth into the world of form the abundance of every good thing that you desire, that you decide for yourself. Love is the sole impulse for that creation, and no one can truly create what their heart desires without it. The whole universe is based on love. Therefore, we can use this energy individually and collectively to recognize we are part of something much greater than ourselves. So with us today is our practitioner, Carrie Garnier, and our guest musician, Phil Jacobs. And therefore, I am going to now invite Phil in for our opening song.
Thank you, Helen.
Hello,
Hi.
Phil.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Good to have you. Great to see you. And I'm so happy to be able to listen to you this morning. So take it away.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you. I'm looking forward to your talk later. So Bob Marley came this morning, and Redemption Song is the opening song. So if you know the words, close your eyes, listen, open your hearts. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ship. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We're forward in this generation triumphantly. So won't you help to sing? All I ever have, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of that will stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? No, some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. So won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever have, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of that will stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? No, some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. So won't you help to sing these songs of freedom are all I ever have. Redemption song are all I ever have. These songs of freedom, these songs of freedom, redemption song.
That was so beautiful, Phil. And I just kept thinking of those words, emancipate yourself. Emancipate yourself from struggle, and you have the power to free your own mind. And that's what we teach. So thank you.
Welcome.
And so appreciate you. Okay. And now over to you, Phil.
And back to you. We were just the reflections of each other.
That's it. That's it. I love it. Oh, you have to have a good laugh. And, I mean, really, what we're meant to do is come together and enjoy our life. So let's all have a good laugh today. And that's the other thing we do is we come together and affirm that our physical world is a reflection of our consciousness. And so to have Phil be the reflection of my consciousness, I'll take it. The ultimate reality is one of love, joy, peace, and harmony that each one of us can embody and live from. And therefore, yes, whatever we choose to think, whatever we choose to be, whatever we choose to take action on, whatever we decide is what will determine the world that we experience. So to recognize the direction of our mind, because we can change the direction of our mind and form a new thought pattern and take that right and perfect action to have whatever it is we desire in our life. Recognizing that we live in an atmosphere. An atmosphere, just think about that, all around us is an atmosphere of pure potentiality. If we continue to live as we have lived in the past, from the consciousness of the past, then the future will be more of the same, which might not necessarily be a bad thing, but also think about what we might want to decide to change. If we continue to support the wars within our own consciousness, we will continue to have war in the world. If we continue and choose and decide love only, forgive everything, remember who we are, we will live in a world that is filled with peace, love, compassion, abundance, harmony, kindness, and justice. A world of wholeness. Today and every day, we stand for the right of every human being on this earth plane to experience safety and security. Today and every day, we stand for the knowing that the incarnation of spirit is in all beings. That each one of us, every single person on this earth plane, is an incarnation of this one spirit. And we stand for the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the most inner God is one God. We stand for the eternal goodness. Think about that. the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. When we decide to live from this consciousness of love, opening our hearts to a deeper level of forgiveness and a commitment for what we do stand for, we will play a part in bringing peace and harmony, not only into our own lives, but into the world. So in this moment, let's take a moment and place our hands over our heart. Let us bless all those who are suffering or who have suffered, including ourselves. So breathe in to your open heart space and send that blessing to yourself, to others, out into the world. In this moment, let us also bless those who have inflicted suffering. Yes, send our blessings to those who have inflicted suffering. And in this moment, let us also bless those who witness suffering. So again, breathing into your heart space. And sending out on the exhale all those blessings. And notice what it feels like in your heart space, in your body, to open up and to give. Give that love and blessing unconditionally. For as we accept the light within us, the infinite creative power of infinite love, we also experience the gifts of expression that emerge from it. And just as we come together right here, right now, collectively, and we send these blessings out into the world, we also create change in our lives and those in the lives of those around us. And so know how powerful you are. And so it is. And with that, I'm going to bring in Phil and Carrie for our invocation song.
Thank you, Helen. The things that come to me in my dreams, from the hell to the great big sky. I stand all of the time and I wonder all of the time the biggest question. Oh, why? Am I here all on my own, or am I a part of the zone, twilight time? Where is my home? So I ask the trees all of the time, what is really all mine? Will I end up fine, all on my own? Just be the trees all say we are, just being okay with who we are. We are all the same, connecting beneath the ground. Just look at what we found, and all we need is what is around. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now.
And let's breathe into that. My heart is your heart now. As I speak these words, this knowing that we are all interconnected, for we are all the perfect expression of God, of divine love. And if there is only divine love, then we must all be connected, our individual part of that perfect, whole, and complete entity. And with that knowing, I breathe in and I say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity for us to come together in this moment right here and right now. A full heart of gratitude for each and every one of us for this time, focused attention, love, understanding. Knowing that each person who comes receives exactly what they're here to receive. And it is a time of celebration, a time of renewal, a time of community, and being with those who know that they know. And with this full heart ready for the words that are to come right here and right now, I release these words as law, knowing they are done. And so it is.
Just be the trees all say we are, just being okay with who we are. We are all the same, connecting beneath the ground. Just look at what we found, and all we need is what is around. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now.
Thank you. Carrie, first of all, thank you for that beautiful treatment and your beautiful meditation this morning as well. It was
You're
really
welcome.
exquisite. And okay, this seems like a redundant question because we've been talking about it all morning.
I know.
How is the power of decision working in your life?
Well, let's go into a story here.
Yes.
Um, I've been in my home for about 10 years now, and for over a year, well, probably since moving in, I knew it was more than I could handle on my own. And I moved in with two children who were smaller. 10 years later, they're all grown, and it's still too much for me to handle on my own. And for the last year, I've known it was time to move, but I didn't make the decision.
And what did you
And so,
experience in not making the decision? Because
and
that's an
so
important part.
it is, it's important
Yeah.
to know that one can want to, one can desire to, one can hope to, but
Mhm.
until one decides to, not much is going to happen.
Not much.
No. So, and I'd say over the last 4 to 6 months have been things happening in the house, and they're not big things, let's be really clear, but little things here and there. But my body reaction has been huge, which is my body's way of saying, remember, we can't handle this anymore. Remember, we can't handle this anymore. And then I guess about 2 to 3 weeks ago, a couple of things happened, like right together. And that was like, okay, one at a time I can handle, but two, it was too much. And I was spending time with Linda, who's my prayer partner, and just sobbing, sobbing. And these were small things.
Mm.
Again, they weren't big things. They were just small things like, the air conditioning wasn't working, and I have, an insurance company to cover that. So it was like a phone call and it was fixed. And I can't remember what the other thing was. And that's when I made the decision. I said, it is time. It is time. And so fast forward 3 weeks later, I've found a new place to live. I've bought a condo. And my house is in a bit of upheaval because it's going on the market in a week. So once I made the decision, and I also decided that I would have lots and lots of help, because one of my core beliefs is that I have to do it all on my own,
Mm-hmm.
which is no longer a core belief. It's more of a
Yay.
side. Remember, this is how we used to think, and I get to say thank you. I remember that's how we used to think, but now we think this way. So with that decision that I'm going to have lots of help and it's going to be easy. I have had lots of help and it is easy.
Oh, I just feel like this breath, this letting go, and
Yeah. And as soon as I let it go, like just this huge weight, I was telling you earlier, this huge weight that's been on me for over a year has lifted. And I've been able to get up every morning energized,
Mhm.
knowing that this beautiful house that has served us so well is going to somebody else to love and be loved.
Yes.
And not my responsibility anymore. And it's perfect. Like it's a perfect little house for the next people.
Oh, I am so happy for you.
Thank you.
And I applaud your courage to just say, enough is enough.
It's time.
It's time.
The thing about decision too is that for me, I know that when I do make the decision, things will happen fast. So I had to sort of be ready for that roller coaster ride,
Yes. Yeah.
the roller coaster ride of staying versus the roller coaster ride of making the decision to move.
Mm-hmm. And tell me, which roller coaster ride is more enjoyable?
Oh, the move,
The move. Yeah.
the move.
Yeah. It doesn't mean life isn't a roller coaster or there isn't ups and downs, but it doesn't have to be an arduous ride in life. And we were talking about that. It's like, let go of the struggle.
Yeah.
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 Yes. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for starting off the month. I know you've got a couple of busy months, so I get that,
Mhm.
and which is why you're here today. But it is like absolute divine timing as well.
Yes.
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 Ah, do you want to lead us through our affirmation?
I sure do.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
beautiful. Okay, I'm going to say, oh my goodness, I'm going to say it one time. I want everybody just to absorb it in as I say it. All of my choices are in agreement with my desires and in cooperation with the universe. And now let's say that all together. All my choices are in agreement with my desires and in cooperation with the universe. Just do it.
Just do it. Oh, Carrie, love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
adore you. You're awesome. I am so happy for you. And I'll see you at the end of the service too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to bring Phil back for our feature song. And Phil, just take it away with your beautiful voice and energy and
Thank you, Helen.
sound that resonates deep in the heart.
Thank you so much, Helen, for your shares. Congratulations. Thank you, Helen. Let's go. This is a song I wrote a little while ago, and I forgot I wrote this, and it's coming up again this past week. It's called Heartland, and it's a choice. It's a decision. So here we go. This is a place I know called Heartland. Please, won't you come and visit there? Somewhere out there beyond Heartland, there's a place riddled with fear. Oh, won't you come home to Heartland? This is your home in Heartland. Once upon a time, not so long ago, in Heartland, there lived a playful golden lion cub who played all night and rested all day in Heartland. All the games in Heartland are about love. Oh, won't you come home to Heartland? This is your home in Heartland. Sometimes I think about myself as separate from the love and truth. I end up in the land of fear, in a place where I can't hear. There's a place I know called Heartland. Please, won't you come and visit there? Somewhere in there, in that Heartland, all the grief and sadness starts to disappear. Oh, won't you come home to Heartland? This is your home in Heartland. Everybody's welcome home to Heartland. This is your home in Heartland.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome, Helen.
If you think about it, we can choose to decide to live in fear, or we can decide to come back into our heart space. And my question to you this morning is, what do you think the biggest decision is that you will ever make in your life? You can even put it in the chat if you want. Is it buying a home, selling your home, choosing to move across the country, choosing a career, deciding who you're going to spend the rest of your life with, or getting married, or moving in with someone, how to invest your money? Is the biggest decision, when will I retire? They're all big decisions, yes, but they're not the biggest, not by a long shot. The biggest decision we can make is to express our divinity at all times. Think about that. The biggest decision we can make is to express our divinity at all times. Because I want you to think for a moment, what would happen? What would be the long-term consequences of you deciding to live as God, to live as your God self and express love only all the time? Forgive everything all the time. Come back to remembering who you are all the time, which then you wouldn't have to remember who you are because you're already living as who you are. Your God self, your divinity. And guess who is quietly, patiently waiting for you to make this decision? And it's not your mother or your husband. Well, maybe. My husband, maybe. It's the universe. It's the creative process. The creative process awaits your decision and your calm acceptance of the necessary work on your part following your decision. So the moment you in your mind make that decision, that goes into the law, the creative process. That seed is planted in the soil and germinates in the perfect way as we continue to do the necessary work on our part following the decision. Ideas follow ideas. Ideas follow ideas. So, as you take action, first of all, you decide. And then that goes into the creative process. And you start taking action. And you start to live the idea that you decided. You give your decision life. Nobody else. It's all up to you to give your decision life. And how do you do that? Because it's not just about thinking yourself into a new way of acting, but you can actually act from what you've decided. So if I have decided to live my divinity, I don't sit there and think about it. I take action and I move forward. into living and being this way. Most people try to think their way into a new way of thinking and then hope that their behavior will change. Yeah, I'm going to think I'm out of debt. I'm going to think I'm out of debt. I'm going to think I'm out of debt. I'm going to think I'm abundant. I'm going to think I'm prosperous. But nothing changes in the behavior. So, in other words, you can treat your mind, yes, and it is important to treat your mind. And yes, it is important to meditate. And yes, it is important to set your intention to spend less, to be more divine, express your divinity, lose weight, get fit. But unless you actually take the action to do something different than what you have been doing in the past, you just go back to repeating the same pattern over and over and over again. And the reason is because we're hardwired to survive. So it's already, that foundation is laid down. And those survival patterns are active in our subconscious mind. They're running the show until we make a decision. I am deciding to live from my divinity, and I'm not going to wait for something to show up to prove to me that I'm living from my divinity. I'm just going to go out and do it. I'm going to make it happen. Just telling yourself to do better or be better isn't enough. You have to practice the actions that build new neural pathways of living differently. You can't simply tell yourself to start recategorizing from now on, or be open to new information, or to stop taking a single perspective without actually taking action. So you can use a bunch of treatments and meditation practices that will help you develop the mindset. But you got to take action. You must decide to do something differently. And how many of us automatically say in our minds, maybe not out loud, but in our minds, I can't do that. It's too hard. I don't know how. I can't afford that. I can't be that. That'll never happen for me. And here's all the reasons why. And then, of course, as metaphysicians, if you were to say that to us, what would we say back? And so it is. And so it is. Because you're creating that in your own mindset. 9 out of 10 times we stop a thought or an idea that is not in line with who we are. We're the ones who block the creative idea. We're the ones who block the alternative perspective, the openness, the ability to show up differently. So just ask yourself, are you a yes person or a no person to new ways of showing up in the world? Because we have to start doing something different. We must decide to do something different, just like Carrie so brilliantly illustrated. It was like she could decide to be on the roller coaster of living in her home, or she could decide to be on the roller coaster of selling her home and creating something new. And, the thing is we're such creatures of routine in almost everything we do because it's so comfortable and we know it. And so, to take action and do something different is uncomfortable. And so if you step into uncomfortableness, know you are so in the right place for you. And one of the most important things that we can all do is get ourselves back out into the world, to get back into doing fun things and connecting with people and, going to concerts, going to different places, because we need to go back out and be connected in the world. We can't stay in isolation. Well, we could. That's a decision. But that is a decision that doesn't bring us a bunch of help, bring us a place of what am I trying to say here? It is a decision that impedes the expansion of our consciousness. And it's funny because I used to go to the movies every weekend with a friend. For 3 years, we had not been to a movie together. So we said, okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. And so yesterday we went to see Top Gun. And it was just like so much fun and such a throwback to the 80s. It was like, oh my gosh, so fun, action packed, a thriller for sure, really well acted and surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting it to be that amazing, but it's like we both looked at each other and went, oh, so entertaining, because you couldn't think of anything else but that film for, I think it was almost 2.5 hours. And we were so happy to be together. And it's like, you just got to get out there. Make a decision to get out there. And it was time to deliberately break what had become a normal pattern of not going out, which is the same thing that happened to me when I went to California to teach a couple of weeks ago. And I hadn't been teaching for 7 months, and I hadn't been around people to that degree, 7 days straight from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. It was radical exposure, and the neural pathways in my brain were firing full on. And I went, oh my God, I haven't used my brain like this. Oh, I'm challenged. I'm uncomfortable. And yet I knew it was so important for me to be out there learning, even though it was uncomfortable. And that's, it's happens to us when we're in new environments, but at the same time, it's a good thing for us. And so to get out and challenge yourself. So what decision can you make for yourself so that you find yourself in a new groove in life, as opposed to what we've been in for the past 2 or 3 years? A groove where you are expressing all that you are, because no one else is better equipped to determine your good than you are. Lots of people want to make decisions for us, but no one else is better equipped to determine your good than you are. And when I came to that kind of realization, so there was an experience that happened with someone during the week where they were being told this is what was going to happen to them. And I said, well, you live in a field of quantum possibilities. So what else is possible here? And it's like, wait a minute. They're trying to determine your good? No. You determine your good. You decide what it is. The creative process is waiting for your decision to express your divine self, to live abundantly, to live creatively, and to enjoy life. Because at the very center of your consciousness is a purpose. And the purpose is that you become aware of your pure infinite potentiality to experience the joy of living, however that is for you. And my question that just popped into my mind is, how many of, well, I'm going to include myself in this one, how many of us have a fear of disappointing others by making a decision that is the most loving, kind, and generous for ourselves, that is in service for our highest and best good? That's a good one to ponder. I'm going to say it again. How many of us have a fear of disappointing others rather than making a decision that serves our highest and best good, bringing us joy, abundance, expansion, creativity, peace, lightness, love, laughter, connection, wholeness. It's a good one to ask yourself this week. Be aware if you're making decisions based on other people, pleasing other people. I'm just having kind of having a light bulb moment here. So why not decide to do and act joyfully, no matter what? Why not decide to live life to the fullest, no matter what else is happening in the world around you? Things could be falling apart. Michael Singer talks about this all the time in The Untethered Soul. You could be grieving at a funeral and still live in joy. You could be having the most stressful day and people coming at you, and you can still decide to live in joy and live your life to the fullest. That's where we have choice. And that is the power of our minds. Because whatever you are experiencing in your life is a direct result of your consciousness. So if we decide to do something different by taking action and acting ourselves into a new way of being, then we won't let fear take over. Where your mental attention goes, your emotions follow. Because your mind is a field of interactions between thought and feeling. And mental action can be controlled so that you are taking action no matter what. In class, we're reading Into the Magic Shop by Dr. James Doty. He's a neurosurgeon. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It's a great story. It's a very easy read. And it's his life story about where he started to learn the magic in a magic shop. Actually, that's true. But he learned the magic of his mind and how to control his mind. And he also went through a lot of life experiences about opening his heart. He does a great meditation that we've been doing in class where you come in and you start to focus your mind, relax your body, let go of everything else, stay focused. And it's so brilliant because our mind wants to go willy-nilly back into survival mode, and we need to focus it on what it is we decide to be. So, as Raymond Charles Barker says, and I said this last week, you are the result of your past decisions. You will become and experience the result of your present decisions. Join me in deciding on the side of greatness. Join me in deciding to live your divinity. And so, to recognize your life as God. You as God. You as this infinite potential and possibility for more love, more light, more goodness, more abundance, more prosperity, more peace and joy, kindness. Because there are not two, there are only one. There's only one of us here at all times, and it is God, the universal consciousness, the quantum field, the cosmos, whatever you decide to call it, that is who you are. So yes, the biggest decision we can make is to express our divinity at all times. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining in. And I'm going to pull up our um, pull up our giving affirmation, and you can say this with me. I live in a universe of abundance, and I live in a universe of infinite potentiality. As I freely and joyfully give to my spiritual center, I recognize I am the flow of abundance. I share with all life. As I give, I receive, and so it is. And so you can send your donation to globaltruthcentertoronto.com. You can put your donation in there and know that it is gratefully appreciated. And 10% of our tithe for the month of June goes to the Canadian Red Cross, which they're doing such great work for the Ukraine. So that is where our tithe will go this month. And just a couple of announcements for you. One, practitioners are here for you. So if you need some support, you can contact a practitioner. Carrie, I'll put her information up in a few moments. She is available for treatment after the service. Also, we do have our Power of 8 intention group on Tuesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. It is so powerful, so incredibly powerful. So again, join us. Anyone can join in from 7 to 8 p.m. And finally, our community connection and celebration on Friday, June 24th, 5 to 9 p.m. Please do buy your tickets sooner rather than later so that we know how many people are coming. We need to plan for the amount of food. We need to plan for our musicians and cocktails, appetizers, all of that. So if you are planning on coming, please get your ticket purchased this week. That would be a great help to the fundraising team. And with that, I am going to bring Phil in for our final song.
Thank you, Helen.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
What a beautiful talk and wisdom. So thank you for sharing that mindset.
Thank you.
Yes. So it is a decision in this song. It's another Bob Marley song here. It's called "No Woman, No Cry." But it makes reference of, like, at the beginning, observing what's going on, and then carrying on and creating your own life. So just have a good listen to these words, because we have a choice. We definitely have a choice to create our own life. So I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would mingle with the good people we meet. Good friends we have, good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit at the government yard in Trenchtown, And then Georgie would make the firelight. I say to us, good logwood burning through the night. And then we would cook cornmeal porridge, which I'll share with you. My feet is my only carriage, so I got to push on through, and while I'm gone, everything's gonna be alright, and everything's gonna be alright, and everything's gonna be alright, yes, and everything's gonna be alright, and everything's gonna be alright, yes, and everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright, yes, and everything's gonna be alright. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Say, little darling, don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in or listening later on in the archives. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Namaste. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.